Hi. I tried to be cute and have a cute fun intro and a little entrance, and I don't know if it worked. I'm using a new lens today, and it's a wide lens, and I don't know how I'm feeling it, but my other lens was bugging me, so I'm trying something new. I don't know, you know. Yeah, speaking of that new lens, it kind of goes out of focus a lot throughout this video. Unfortunately, I try to fix it as best as I can through editing, and I'm sorry if that happens, if it kind of like keeps being in focus, out of focus. It's a new lens that I got. It's actually not that new. I got it like a year ago, but I don't use it much, so I tried it out because I'm trying to figure out better lighting and stuff for the videos. I don't normally use this lens, and I didn't really realize until I'm editing now that it kind of goes in and out of focus a lot, so I apologize for that. I'm going to work on that not happening, and yeah, my apologies. Hi everybody, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you guys can tell from the title, I am here to bring you a promised video, which is a life update and a Q&A. I'm here today. Honestly, you know, I wanted to make a pretty chill video about, you know, my life update because obviously I haven't made a video prior to my most recent video, my knuckle puck reaction. I mentioned in that video that I hadn't made a video for like a month. And, you know, I don't really take time off from YouTube too much, at least not for that much of an extended period of time. So like I mentioned in that video, I thought it was fitting to, you know, sit down and film a vid explaining just a little life update. And even in college last year, while I didn't exactly do an official one, I was vlogging more throughout the year and I was giving you guys kind of life updates in those vlogs. But I just haven't been vlogging as much, you know, this semester specifically. Even though I've been going to shows, I haven't been vlogging every single show. So I just kind of want to talk about why that is, and just because I haven't been talking about it in videos, give you guys a life update. So as I mentioned in the last video, I went on my social media and I asked you guys to ask me questions. Could be about music, could be about my life, anything like that. Just 'cause I feel like that was also a, you know, good idea to have your questions in this video, so it's not just me blabbing about things you might not care about. I don't know. So a lot of the questions you guys asked kind of go along with things that I plan to talk about in this video, such as school and the future for me. So I'm kind of going to start by just giving a general update, and then I'm going to end with the questions that don't answer what I already said, if that makes any sense. So obviously, yeah, I took a month off. You know, I posted my blooper video to start the year, and then as soon as I got back, I posted my top 5 favorite albums from last year. And I really did like that video, and then I was gone for a month. This last semester has been crazy busy, and it's funny because my previous semester in the fall I said was my busiest semester, but I was still able, I think, to make, you know, obviously not as many videos as I wanted to, but I still tried to make a lot of videos, and I was able to make them semi-frequently, you know. However, a lot of them happen to be concert vlogs, and while I do enjoy making concert vlogs, I do not want that to be my entire channel. And also some of them just turned out not to be as special or memorable as I wanted them to be. And also a lot of them are repeat bands I've already seen, and some are smaller bands that you guys might not care about as much, you know. So I just didn't want my channel to be fully concert vlogs, and I realized that last semester, that's kind of what it became, and I'm sorry about that, you know. So last semester being my busiest semester thus far, I don't know if this tops that, it's a different thing. So this semester I am taking mainly core classes or prereqs. So basically, you know, as a lot of you guys might know, I'm a film and digital media major, and after this semester I will be pretty much done with all of my prereqs that are required for like the liberal arts part of the education for the school that I go to. And then after that, the next 2 years, because I'm a sophomore, next 2 years will just be pretty much all major and minor classes with a few little things here and there, but they're like major requirements. They're not like random history classes and English classes and stuff like that. And for this semester, because I'm finishing everything up, I wanted to be done with all of these prereqs by the end of sophomore year. And because of that, this semester I happen to be taking pretty much all prereqs, and the one major class I'm taking is kind of a copy of a class I've already taken. So there weren't many classes I was looking forward to this semester, and it's really hard to stay motivated about other things, when, you know, A, you're taking classes that you don't really enjoy that much, and B, they're taking up a ton of your time. And so I have had to do the most reading and writing for this semester than I have had to do in any other semester. This has been a reading and writing semester. Last semester, you know, I was running around filming a lot of things for my film classes, and that was super fun. I got to be very creative. This semester, it's not really like that. It's the opposite. It's not creative stuff for my major. It's a lot of reading and writing. I'm taking a history class. I'm in 2 English classes. You know, I'm taking a theology class. And, you know, I'm somebody that loves to learn. I genuinely do. I really love learning about things. But, you know, you get put in classes that you wouldn't prefer. Like, you know, I maybe wanted to be in a different history class or a different theology class. But, you know, life doesn't work out perfectly and you get stuck in things that you might not have wanted to be in. So because I'm pretty much taking all classes that I'm not super passionate about, and yes, I enjoy learning about them, and I feel bad saying this, but I've kind of hit the point where I'm over taking classes that don't mean a ton to me in terms of what I want to do. And that's not to say that I feel that way forever, but I've gotten to that point, at least in my undergraduate career, where I'm kind of just ready to be doing all major and minor stuff. Also, I'm not taking any class for my minor this semester, which sucks too, because in the past I have. So like, I've really had like no classes to look forward to this semester. And I mean, I have a writing class that I really enjoy. My major class, I like it, it's okay. But it's not, you know, the kind of major class that I want to be taking, and it's just kind of boring. And that's why I'm very excited for the next 2 years, because it's, like I said, it's going to be all major and minor, and it's going to be super fun. So these classes that I'm taking right now have been crazy heavy. Like the last month, February specifically, which is obviously the main month I didn't post during, was very busy. Like I was doing a lot of crazy stuff, and I'll get into, you know, other things that are besides school. These classes are crazy demanding. Any free time I had was devoted to reading and writing for these classes, and it's very time consuming. They're very time consuming classes, and very time consuming work is needed for them. So that was one of the main reasons, was I just literally didn't really have time to film and edit. And, you know, if I had time to film, maybe, but then I don't know when I would edit these videos, you know, and I don't want to just, like I said in the past, throw stuff up for the sake of putting it up, and I've genuinely missed it. And it's been a very weird last month for many reasons, like I said before. February, first off, can I just say, worst month of the year, hands down. I felt this way for many years now, but yeah, this year specific, February just literally was the worst. Like I was counting down the days till February was over. You know, for many reasons. Obviously, it's really dreary. I'm in the Midwest. It's cold. It's sad. We hadn't seen the sun in like a week and a half. Like, it was just depressing. It's cold, you know, and the days just went by so slowly, and it was just like the same mundane routine. There wasn't a lot to look forward to. I didn't have a show in February for like 3 weeks, so that was really depressing. Like, I just had nothing to look forward to. And another thing too is that I recently just started Accutane. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably know this because I've tweeted a lot about it. My first day of going on Accutane was February 14th. It was literally Valentine's Day, because I had to get my first blood test the 11th. And if y'all know anything about me, I hate the doctors, I hate hospitals, I hate blood, needles, all that stuff. It's not my thing. Trust me, if I could be a doctor like and help people, I genuinely wish I could, but I'm so squeamish about that kind of thing. I hate it. And with Accutane, if you didn't know, which by the way is also, if you didn't know, but you probably do, it's a medication for your acne. I've been struggling with acne for pretty much literally most of my life, since I was 8, so the last 12 years. And I've done pretty much everything for it, but at this point my last, you know, option was Accutane. So with Accutane, you need monthly blood tests, and like I said before, I'm not great at that kind of thing. So the first, you know, half of February was me stressing out about this blood test, because I hadn't had my blood taken prior to this in 7 years. And I had bad experiences of it before, so I was just scared to have it taken again. You know, I knew that my bad experiences were just kind of looming over my head. I didn't want to go in and take it. In the end, everything worked out. Obviously, it was fine. I mean, I just feel like I'm gonna faint afterwards every time. But I brought little Lou. I ran a poll on Twitter. Everybody said I should bring Lou to my appointment, and he was so great. He helped me through it, as he does. So it was fine. I did it, and it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. And I only have to get 2 more blood tests, so I think, you know, now having that experience done, I know what to expect next time. My acne, you know, it's always worse in Chicago, so I came back from winter break, and you probably can't really tell much in the first video that I filmed, you know, the one ranking the albums, but after that it got really bad, like it does. But I had to wait a month to get on Accutane. There's a lot of weird monthly rules with Accutane and time stuff. You know, if you want to know more about it, I just encourage you to look it up and search it. But there was a lot of weird monthly things, so I had to wait a month before I could even get on the drug. And so I knew that that first month was gonna suck because I'm here, my skin is awful, it's super oily and gross. At home, when I was home for winter break, it's so much drier. It's not as humid in Albany, so it was a very different thing. And I get back here and my skin is just breaking out, like I don't look good, you know, feel very insecure about my skin, like I do. And so it was waiting, but it was knowing that I had to get that blood test before I could even start. So then I started Accutane on Valentine's Day. And, you know, one of the big side effects is obviously dry skin, and I was very excited for that because my skin is naturally oily. So I was like, oh my god, dry skin, what's that like? Who's she? Don't know her. Very excited. But it doesn't really kick in until the first week. So for the first week I was on Accutane, I was like so excited to get on it, but it wasn't doing what I thought the first side effects would be. And it makes sense because you have to be on it for 6 months. It's a journey, you know, it's not gonna just start working immediately. So the first week being on it was really frustrating because I felt really gross and like your joints hurt, you know, that's one of the side effects as well. But my face wasn't getting dry yet. Finally, I think day 6 or so, it did get dry, and now it's been dry ever since. I don't need to use oil blotting sheets at all anymore, which is insane because I used to go through so many of them in a day. Like the money I've spent on oil blotting sheets in my life, it's crazy. So you know, my whole skin routine has changed. I no longer have to be taking antibiotics, obviously. I'm no longer on all these creams, and it's just a whole different thing, and it's finally working. My face is, you know, it's not clear, but it's dry. Part of the big controversy for Accutane is all the crazy side effects that it has, and you know, a lot of them are mental, which was also I was worried about because there was a week in February, I believe it was the week before I got my blood test, I was just hella depressed for like a week straight, and I usually call my parents every week just to chat and you catch up on things. And I remember talking to my mom and I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I was debating going to my wellness center too and talking to someone there, but then I was like, let me wait until I go on Accutane and see how that affects my mind. And honestly, I've been feeling a lot better. I think it was a lot of it was anxiety about the blood test and the weather, and now that it's March and it's actually sunny out and it's nice, it's also my birthday month, like I'm kind of seeing the light, you know? So February was just like a really dark and sad month, both like for me mentally and also the weather and life. But this drug is now doing what it needs to do, which has definitely made me feel a lot happier. I don't have to worry about blotting my face 20 times a day. The only downside though as well is it has made me break out, if you can't tell. So the first month or two when you're on Accutane, your skin tends to kind of flare up because it's getting used to the drug. And it's frustrating because, you know, for somebody that is already super insecure about their face and is like, woohoo, we're time to fix it, here we go, I just did this blood test, I faced my fears, let's get on this thing, and then it makes your skin worse, is like really hard to deal with. And you know, if you know anybody that's gone on Accutane, I'm sure they've told you this before, like the first few months really suck. Other than the dry skin, I love that I'm flaky, I'm living for that, but I'm not living for all this new acne that's popped up because of it. So, you know, pros and cons. I'm just trying to get through the rest of the semester because I know that around the 3rd month, your skin starts to actually clear up and you don't break out anymore. It stops flaring up and your skin's used to the drug and it actually really starts working. And hopefully eventually it's a cure, and by August I'll be off the drug ideally and I won't have to worry about acne anymore. So it's been a constant battle with acne for most of my life, and this last month has been just full of a lot of ups and downs, honestly, and that could be mental because of the drug, also just because of what's been happening with my face in general, you know. So it's a mixture of a lot of things, like I said, why I haven't been filming, and a lot of it's been because of Accutane, of school, and of it being February, which just, February is the worst. I'm sorry if you have a birthday in February, you know, like, and if you like February, cool. If you live in like California, February probably doesn't faze you at all. I don't know. Here, February has been literally the most depressing month. Now it's March, I'm looking at it with a clean slate. I'm excited for the months ahead. I'm currently on day 20 of Accutane, so you know, I'm kind of like excited to get to month 2 because the flare can also only last maybe a month. I've talked to a bunch of my friends that have been on it, and that kind of thing really does vary. Like it could last 2 months. My friend said it really only lasted the first few weeks for her. So I'm still breaking out a little bit, but now I'm just trying to get all those breakouts that popped up because of the drug down. And unfortunately they're in really sucky spots, like under my eye, and like my whole chin was gross. Like it's gross, you know what? But we all have to deal with it. A lot of people have acne. Like I get it, and I try to remind myself of that, but I just can't help but be self-conscious about it because this is what I look like. And also another thing with that too is it's been really hard to get the motivation to sit down and film
when I don't feel secure about how I look, you know, and I don't want to like see myself. I don't want to edit it. I don't want to, you know, like, I don't want to do that. So it's also been me dealing with that as well. But in the meantime, I actually have really been missing making videos, and I've had all these ideas that I've been wanting to film. I just, like I said, genuinely have not had the time. But right now I'm on spring break, so I'm going to be filming a bunch of videos this week for you guys to put up in the coming weeks. And I have 7 more weeks of this semester, and I don't know exactly how much it's going to slow down or speed up. I also work 2 jobs too, so it's, you know, that's another thing too. I work at Journeys on the weekend and I do a school job during the week, so it's hard to find time to film and edit, like I've been saying. There's also like a bunch of really exciting shows coming up that I do want to vlog. I just want to make sure the ones that I'm vlogging are like very important to me, favorite artists. There's something cool about them. I go to a lot of shows now, I do, and I'm really lucky and really grateful that I'm able to, but I don't want my channel to become every single show I concert vlog it, because I don't think you guys would like that, unless you want more concert vlogs, which comment down below if you do, but that's not something that I genuinely really want, and I feel like it's not great content for you guys. I want to be producing better content, I want to be challenging myself, and things like that. So now I'm going to get into the questions. There's really only a few of them because I pretty much answered most of the stuff, you know, that you guys were asking in this majority of the video. But for the ones that did ask me things, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. One of the questions was, do people ask about your YouTube often in real life? And I thought this was interesting because there's some funny stories that's been happening recently. When you say ask about it, I guess when I'll tell somebody about it, then they'll ask. So in a lot of classes, you know, I meet a bunch of new people. A lot of my classes are very social, and, you know, I mention it to people. It's not something I hide. I don't gloat it. I'm not like, oh my god guys, guess what I do, ask what my hobby is. But you know, if somebody asks what I like to do or my free time, that kind of thing. But obviously it also has to do with videos and editing, so if I'm talking to somebody in my major class, I'll mention it and things like that. And when I do mention it, I always get like really genuinely great responses from people who are always like, whoa, that's so cool, and then they'll ask about it, like what kind of videos do I make, and it's really great. I mean, I like talking about it, and I like seeing those kind of reactions. It kind of surprises me whenever somebody has like a very genuine, like, oh, that's so neat reaction, you know, and it means a lot when they're like, oh, you've been doing this for so long, and you make time for it, all that kind of thing, because it is something that I've been so passionate about for, you know, over a third of my life. So a lot of people do ask me about it if I tell them. People, in terms of like recognizing and then asking about it, has been happening a lot more here, which I'm not used to. I, you know, kind of got used to it on the East Coast, because obviously that's where I grew up, and people recognize me at, you know, Albany shows, like Massachusetts, like Connecticut shows, things nearby. And then when I moved here, I wasn't being recognized as much, which was totally understandable. But now it has happened at a few shows here, which has been really cool. And funny story, I went and saw Knuckle Puck, you know, a few weeks ago. First show of their headline tour right now with Heart Attack Man at the Beat Kitchen here in Chicago. And as I was leaving, I looked like a mess. And as a lot of you guys know who would watch my last video, I filmed my reaction to their new song on the day of the show. And I said in that video, I'm going to the show tonight. So as I'm leaving the venue, I just hear these adults. And when I say adults, like I realize I'm an adult, but not like adults my age, like parents, like 40s, 50s, like not college students, not in their 20s. These were like older adults who were like, Gwendolyn, Gwendolyn, like saying my full name. And at first I was like, well, I don't recognize any of these people, so it must not be me. But then I'm like, how many other Gwendolyns are there in this room? Probably not many. So then I was like, me? And everybody started looking over to me because it's a small venue and these parents are yelling loudly my name. And so people started to look over because they're confused. And I was like, me? And they were like, we watched your YouTube videos. We watched your review this morning. And I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. And they were all high-fiving me. And there was this couple that was at the end of like the group of adults. And they were like, oh my gosh, we loved your review you posted this morning and your reaction. We love your videos. We're Nick from Knuckle Puck's parents. And I literally was like, oh, like what? And I was like, oh, well, he knows how much I love them, so makes sense. Like I've met all of them before, obviously, you guys know. So that was so weird though, that his parents watched my videos. Like I was freaking out. I left the venue and I was like texting all my friends. I'm like, what just happened? Because like that was crazy, you know? And that was also one of my favorite Knuckle Puck shows I've ever been to. I mean, I was crying and I was sick and I was there and I was crying. Like, it was a fantastic show and it brought me so much happiness, definitely. I'm really glad I went to that show. Yeah, that was an incredible show. I'm very excited because I also have tickets for the second date, which is at the end of March. So I have that to look forward to. But yeah, so I do get recognized more here now, which is pretty cool. And also I'm kind of like working on networking here. I've been networking the past year or so, so you really learn that even the scene here in Chicago is a lot smaller than you think. Everybody kind of knows everybody, so I am being recognized more because of mutual friends and things like that. I also sell merch for the band Wolf Road, so I'm at all of their shows, and like by selling merch you also meet people in other bands through that. So, you know, trying to kind of get my name out there, get known in the city, and with that, you know, comes more times being recognized. On Instagram, my friend asked me, how are classes going? Which obviously, you know, I think I already mentioned that they're fine, they're going. You know, I'm still obviously working very hard. School is my #1 priority, it comes first, which is why it's been taking up so much of my time, because I am really dedicated to it. I have a goal of getting, you know, certain GPA and everything. So they're going. I'm just kind of over core. I'm over the prereqs, as I mentioned before, and I'm very excited for the semester to be over, even though it's only halfway over, but 7 weeks. I am counting down. I really am honestly just taking it day by day and week by week, because otherwise I just stress myself out and I get overwhelmed. Another person asked favorite record label. Honestly, Pure Noise came to mind really quick, but I also really like Rise Records because, you know, Knuckle Puck is on it, so gotta love them. But Belmont recently signed to Pure Noise, and then I believe Jetty Bones recently signed to Pure Noise as well, I think? Or was it Rise? I get those two confused a lot, but I really do like those. I also like Mutant League Records. They're pretty cool. They're actually Chicago based, so I know people that like work for them and stuff like that. And they're a very cool record label as well, so I would say probably those 3 are my faves. They also asked, what are you studying to be? Like I kind of mentioned before, I'm a film and digital media major, and I'm studying, I don't want to like pigeonhole myself to be like I'm studying to be this like specific job, because that stresses me out. I used to be like film editor, which like that's my concentration within this major, is like the editing side of film. That's what I'm really interested in, all the technical stuff. But also I like cinematography as well. I like photography. I also, as you guys know, I'm part of the radio station at Loyola, and I've had radio internships before, so that is also a very big, you know, interest of mine and passion. I think a lot of my passions overlap. So I would say video editing, radio, you know, are probably the 2 big things. And like music, which kind of obviously you can intertwine with either. You know, I've been able to be on sets of music videos here in the city. I've been able to take my camera to shows and practice getting video of bands and taking photos of bands. So, you know, things like that. I don't want to pin myself down to one job because I'm really open to a lot. And because of that, I'm actually going to stay here in Chicago over the summer. I'm not going to go home, which I'm very excited for. I have a sublet here for the summer, which I'll be moving into in May, and I'll be staying here and working, as well as hopefully being able to be some sort of intern to a film studio or radio station or something having to do with music or video or something in that realm. Just stay here and keep learning about the things I'm passionate about is my goal, and I'm super excited to be here for the summer because Chicago in the summer, it's the best time to be here, 100%. I really like the fall too, but Chicago in the summer with the lake, like I'm gonna be going to the beach like every day. I wanna buy a skateboard, I wanna skate down the lakefront. Like I have so many goals for this summer, so I'm very excited to stay here for the summer. I think it's also gonna bring a lot of cool content for you guys. So yeah, like I said, anything in the realm of video, radio, music. The last question was, what does music mean to you and how has it made an impact on your life? This is like a cute one to end on. Music means, I mean, so much to me, honestly, and I think I realize that more and more each year, how much it means to me and also how much it has had an impact on my life. Obviously, growing up, you know, my parents were a huge influence with me on music, and you know, they both loved music. My dad was in a bunch of bands in college, you know, this was a big part of his life as well, and he kind of taught me a lot of rock and roll stuff, and my mom influenced me with a lot of like 80s, like synth kind of things and pop songs, and it definitely, you know, gave me a great foundation for music until I was old enough to start finding my own music on my own. And I think if they hadn't given me that really great foundation and made it such a big part of my life growing up, I wouldn't have found certain things that I had found when I was 13, 14, and a lot of the times I'll be listening to a random band that I just found and think back to when I found Panic at the Disco, because they were my favorite band, as you guys know, for many, many years. And if I hadn't found them, I don't know if I would have the music taste that I have today. Because that was kind of the start of, you could say, like my emo phase, I guess, you know? Even though I've always liked rock because of my dad, I've always really enjoyed that genre, but I don't know if I would have found all the bands that I love today if I hadn't found Panic. And, you know, that comes back, like I said, to the foundation that my parents gave me. But that band, you know, still means so much to me, even though I don't listen to them much anymore. If I hadn't found them, I don't think that I would have found all these other bands, and this love for live shows and concerts and the bond and the community that this scene has and all of these things. And so, I mean, it's impacted me in so many ways. It brings me incredible amounts of happiness. I mean, if I'm sad or anything, I know what songs to play to make me happy. Shows make me insanely happy. One of the reasons I wanted to move to this city was because of the music scene, and then I fell in love with the city, you know, so it pretty much is somehow intertwined in every aspect of my life. And meeting new people in the past 2 years, a lot of people are like, damn, like you really like music, or music's really a big part of your life. And I guess I don't realize how much it is compared to others, because I'm like, well, everybody likes music of some sort. But yeah, it's a very big part of my life. You know, my YouTube channel is basically centered around it. My life is kind of centered around it. I mean, let's be real. Like I spend most of my money on concert tickets, like things that are related to music, merch, or something like that, you know, because I just love the community that it brings. I love live shows. I love concerts. I love the feeling that it gives me, and all of the amazing friends that I've made through it. You know, I think about how it's impacted me in terms of social and just also experiences in general, you know, being able to go to music festivals with friends, create those memories. It's huge. So, and also in a way, the things I do on YouTube, the things that I go to, like concerts and things, I think will eventually kind of help me with my career once I'm out of college, because I'm already, like I said, networking, making connections because of music, because of this thing that everybody else has this love for, you know? So I think that if I can use it, you know, to get me to my career, to tie it into my career, it would be like, you know, it would be incredible. So it's definitely had a huge impact on me, and it's a very, very big part of my life. And I'm always flattered when people ask me for music recommendations or ask me for concert advice, things like that, because I just enjoy listening to what I listen to because it makes me happy. I go to concerts because I think it's so fun. It's, you know, my way to let out my stress and just have fun, let loose. I also always wish that I could like be in a band, because I think it's the coolest thing, and that's why I always love to talk to the musicians of the bands and tell them how talented they are, how amazing they are. You know, they're humans too, and having that connection with them, like having the connection I have with Knuckle Puck, with Belmont, with those kind of bands, and now being able to sell merch for a band that I love, that my friends are in, that I believe so much in, and being able to help them because I think they are so talented. Like they appreciate it from me, but I'm genuinely honored to be able to sell their merch for them, you know? So yeah, it's a huge, huge part of my life. It's brought me to so many new friends, new places and states and cities and things like that. So it's definitely impacted me in many, many ways. And with that, I think that I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this might be a little rambly at parts, but I figured that you guys deserved a life update because I think it's been too long, and I tweet about things, but I think making a video, sitting down, explaining things is easier. And I hope to keep you guys updated with me, with my accutane, things like that, because I don't know, it could be helpful for some of you to do maybe, you know, video about it once I'm done and just talking about my experience, because it's early on in the process right now, but it is a journey, you know, and it's kind of an intense medication, so. But I also, like I said, have plans for a lot of upcoming videos. I will not be gone again for a month, I promise you, and I appreciate you guys for sticking with me and not like unsubscribing or something, you know, because it's been a crazy last month, as I've mentioned, so thank you guys so much for sticking with me, continuing to interact with me on Twitter and other social media. I always love talking to you guys. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!